Okay, so I grinded and chipped away at as much of this as I could. I took it from the first spot here all the way down to the middle, and it's really getting difficult in the back there because everything in the back there is actually really good metal, and I just don't have a tool that's well suited to get in there. Like if I could just peel this off, I would, but this piece right here, I believe this is part of the fiberglass, and it's actually the part that's really attached to the top, and then the metal is more like just to reinforce it. It seems. It still seems like an odd design because I'm sure stock hardtops actually just they just go from the whole thing and peel around, and it's just a thick piece of fiberglass here, and then that just goes down into that. And that's why I don't think they'd ever rot out. I guess they could chip, but this is kind of not a great design if you ask me. I understand why it's like this, but I just think there were better options. Maybe even like a strong piece of plastic in between would have been safer. Oh well, I guess. So like I said, all this in there, you can see up to here. I don't think since I've actually purchased this hardtop, this part right here was always loose. So I don't think this bolt was ever down. So what I did is I actually went out and I got a piece of steel sheet metal. It's actually perfect. It's light. It's not too strong, but not too flimsy. I can't really bend it, but it's a little bit bendable. It's really nice stuff. It's actually exactly what I needed. I got really lucky on this. And it fits in really well, goes in really nice, and it's just a little bit short from reaching from where I needed to start from where I needed to end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip this under here. I'm actually going to slip it underneath the that piece there all the way down is actually good. It's a little bit crumbled, but it's good metal. Like I'm not taking that out because I can't even bend that. And I'm just gonna finish grinding out some of this longer stuff here. Is tough. I've been going at it with an air compressed grinder. It's the best thing I got. It's a little disc sheet. It's not really working on it too well, but there's nothing else I can do. I've tried to clip this out with any tool I have over there, pliers, clippers, everything I got. Nothing is just well suited to get in there and like pull out good metal like that. So a lot of it here is gone, so that's good all through here. And I'm just going to match this up and line it up, and then I'm going to cut it to where I need it, and then I'm going to cut another little piece. Actually, what I think I might do is I think I might start from the end here, start there, and then put an in-between piece, like overlap the two pieces a little bit right there at the end. Yeah, I think that'll work. And I got really lucky with this stuff. They didn't have a lot of options, but this is exactly what I needed. Not too much, not too little. It's steel, sheet metal. It's good stuff. Exactly what I needed. I got lucky. Now, as long as I can cut through it and measure it out the proper way, we'll be in good shape. Some good stuff. You can bend this stuff, but man, it's not easy to cut through or anything, that's for sure. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up these edges here. I got a little off track, but I can't complain because I was able to get through the whole thing fairly neatly. And after I clean it up, I'm probably gonna paint it or pour 15 it. Probably pour 15 it because I'm just gonna pour 15 all the railings here. And let's see how well this fills in. So it's a little bit over. I expected it to be a little bit over. I thought I should have gone back a little bit, but I was worried if I cut it too thin, then I'd kind of be screwed. So I'm just going to be, oh, that actually, no, see, that went in really well over there, whereas over here, it's because I still got this metal here. But I did find a 4-inch angle grinder that I didn't know I had, and I'm going to try to get rid of the rest of that there. So let's go with it. Everything out again. I was at it for about 20 seconds with the angle grinder, which was working actually really well. It was really tearing it down, but it was only a couple seconds before I tore right through this, just a little misstep, and I already kind of cut through that. So I decided, you know what, it's not worth it, because the fact is I've got my pieces cut, I've got this cleaned out, that's all set, got that there, and this whole strip here. And when I put the piece in roughly the way I want it and pop it in, it goes right in. I mean, it's right up there. It's solid. I mean, just like this, even if I just drilled holes like this, I'd feel pretty good about it, honestly. But I'm going to be pour patching this in, and pour patch is probably one of the best products I've ever used. I think I feel it's like the closest thing you can get to a weld without actually welding something. That stuff is solid. because anywhere I used it on my Jeep, under my tub, and inside to patch my holes that I had on my floor panels, and my inner tub and outer tub, both of those are rock solid. I mean, I'd have to drill through that to get through. So I'm pretty confident that it's gonna hold it in. I mean, no better than any of this stuff would be held in right now. Yeah, even with the extra little bits in there that I wanted to get out, like I kind of want to get rid of that. That probably actually reinforces it more than anything, and I have no problem slipping in my new piece here. So, I mean, I'm not gonna worry about grinding it out, especially if I'm gonna risk doing that, since I've already grinded most of it out. This piece over here is pretty much the way I want it. It's a little, when I push it all the way back, it ends up going over the hole a little bit, but that's not the end of the world. I don't really care. This, like I said, this piece over here was always not even, I don't think anything ever was here when I first bought this, so the whole year and a half I had driving around with it. So if I just pour patch it about there, I think it'll be fine. Just overlapping that piece a little bit. And then I've got the, actually that might have been the longer piece over there. Which one? No, that is the longer piece. And then this piece is going to slide right under there for that. And I'm going to drill the spot for that, and that's going to be pour patch right in. This is a little rough on the edge here, but the rest of this is very solid. Like, it gets thicker as it goes back, which is just, I don't know why the whole thing isn't kind of made this way. I guess that's to reinforce it, but again, I just feel like maybe more sheets of this or a sheet of plastic would have been better, but... Okay, so everything's all pour 15'd and pour patched, and I forgot just how messy. You think pour 15 is messy? I mean, you could just tell. Pour patch is is really messy, especially when you've got it in the tube and I've had it for actually quite a long time now, and I actually ended up having to cut the tube because as I was drilling the top to get it to come out of the top, which I'd already done twice, some of the sides that I was starting to bend were actually breaking because the outer part had like hardened and was coming through the cracks. So I ended up saving it in a jar. But yeah, everything over here looks really good. I took a small brush right here and went to town. Got very good coverage on the top of the metal and then pretty good coverage on the bottom. Really lathered it in there. I think it all came out really well with the pour 15. So this side now is in really good shape. I don't think I need to worry about that rusting out anymore. I got it pretty good on there. And this side, like I said, very firm still. So I'm going to let that fully dry. And then on the other side here, you can see where I got the pour patch over there. Basically what I did is I wanted to film it, but as soon as I started, it got so messy I didn't even want to touch my camera. Basically what I did is I took the metal piece, I took the pour patch, and I just lathered it on there. I mean, I lathered like good goops of the stuff. If you haven't seen pour patch before, it's kind of got the consistency of like a thick, smooth paste. Kind of like, honestly, kind of like hot fudge, like hot fudge. So you spread it, and it's kind of sticky, but you can move it around. It's just like that. And I just lathered the pieces on there, stuck them in, and then clamped them down. And in 24 hours, I'm going to give it more than 24 hours, but in 24 hours, this stuff will be hard as a rock. I use this stuff, like I said, on my floor panel and on the under part of my Jeep where I had a hole, and that stuff is just rock solid. That's like the closest thing to a weld I think you can get. That's really good stuff. I love pour patch, and I would probably use pour patch for anything heavy duty like this. Something I'd probably always turn to in the future. And you can tell some of the spots here aren't like clamped down as much as I want. I want to go get a few more clamps to just make sure that this is as down as it can be. Because I still, once it hardens, it's going to be good. But and then on the outside here, you can see where I like lathered some of that's all pour patch right there. And there's nothing, because like half of the fiberglass they already chipped away. So I didn't have anything to replace that with well. So I'm just going to let that harden on there, and then that's right where the other two pieces connect. But I think this is going to come down well. I'm going to get a few more pieces just to clamp this down nice and neat. But other than that, it's on there pretty good. I'm already confident in pour patch. I have no worries that pour patch won't hold this down. The holes drilled out really well. The whole metal pieces came out good. I got really lucky with the metal and everything just fitting together real well. So I'm feeling a lot better about this now. Here's what I got left of the pour patch. And that is what's left of the tube. Very good stuff, but very messy stuff.